been walking for 30 years, right?
Right.
Have you ever thought that maybe you were lost?
No.
Well, how do you know that you're walking in the right direction?
Walk by faith, not by sight.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't have to make sense. It's faith. It's faith. It's the flower of light.
Is that from your book?
No, it's Johnny Cash, live at Folsom Prison.
What?
I went out walking under an atomic sky.
Either you randomly clicked on this video, and, well, that's your tough luck, or, and more likely,
where the bad folks go when they die, but don't go to heaven where the angels fly.
Well, how do you like it? The picture!
Oh, God.
if you try and tell the blind idiots the real truth, they're just gonna run away and hide, and that's not going to help. So we must dumb it down.
Yeah, it looks great, Mom, but it's covering the phone here.
There is a chance, very slim, that one day they will become enlightened.
Help! I've been deported! I'm in Tijuana! Javier! Can you hear me? Estoy en Tijuana! Javier!
Jesús está en Tijuana.
I'd kick it in the head when he was 25.
We've done this for far too long, and I already know which direction it is going.
I can't believe that is what you idiots have been doing in my basement all these years.
Hey, you want to get high, man?
Now, one thing I don't like about America is we got real bad drug policy.
I got a joint here, man. I've been saving for a special occasion.
We got people in jail for getting high. Hey, dude! They sell guns at Walmart. This is about you.
Did someone shove a vacuum up your nose and suck out your last lonely brain cell?
The government, they don't want you to use your drugs. They want you to use their drugs.
What is going on in your head?
Do not take it too personal, as I have no idea who you are. I am the king of bad crazy, the full swan dive into pure unbounded wonderment, which is still unfolding around me. Get acclimated to this heightened state of being, you know what I'm saying, man? Because at this point in time, you gotta be questioning your existence, bro, and what this adventure up the big mountain is really all about.
They say they want the kingdom, but they don't want God in it.
Enlightenment. Oh, things can go off the rails rather quickly. But then again, I do believe that is the reason you made it this far.
I went with nothing but the thought you'd be there too.
You shine, you see it, or you're granted that encoded glimpse of something greater than what has been advertised.
This country is innocent. And that's why I fight for you, Albuquerque.
Better call Saul.
Now, Jesus, don't you wait up. Jesus, I'll be home soon.
We will freely use music, colors, and images to set the tone, to sell the narrative. You haven't even noticed, or you have noticed, but you came for the part where I say, yeah!
We try to flag you down from going the same direction we went, with drugs. You'll never know the feeling to lose so many friends that should be with you today and so many loved ones because of drugs.
You know any retarded war heroes?
They hate you if you're clever, and they despise
You went
the
full
fool.
retard, man.
Never go full retard.
Led Zeppelin. And if you want to believe they're garbage, that it's all right, and you want to forget things like Kiss saying that their real name is Kings in Satanic Service, and that rock music is actually satanic spells being cast and being planned by the Satanist Church.
Oh, God. Man, hope I can still have babies. Huh?
Rock history. It almost doesn't seem real, but for 2 months in the fall of 1969, college students all across the United States were obsessed with discovering hidden messages on Beatles album covers and in the songs themselves. At the height of its popularity, the conspiracy theory spread around the world, spawning novelty songs, write-ups, and even prime-time TV news coverage.
Together, collectively, they thought Paul McCartney had died. I understand they still do.
McCartney was killed 3 years ago in an auto accident, and a double put in his place.
The gist of the theory is that after an argument during a Beatles recording session on November 9th, 1966, Paul McCartney sped off in his car only to be decapitated in an auto accident when he lost control of his vehicle. The UK security service MI5 advised the band to find a replacement, for they feared that if the news of Paul's death got out, mass hysteria would spread among Beatles fans, leading to civil unrest and possible mass suicide. The band held a Paul McCartney lookalike contest, and the winner was a Scottish orphan named William Shears Campbell, otherwise known as Billy Shears. After undergoing some minor plastic surgery, the Beatles taught him how to sing, act, and play music just like Paul. Luckily for Billy, his job was made easier by the fact that the Beatles recently retired from touring, and they were all set to don a new look for their upcoming album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
Right now, one of the Manson family girls is in trial, and she said the number one thing that the occult world used to brainwash them was Beatle music.
Come together right now.
And rock music. If you want to leave it in your home, I won't go into details why you can't, but if you want to leave it in your home and all the demons that it attracts, fine. If you want your kids to buffalo you, that it's all right. But I recommend you go home today, get a cardboard box, and break the records, and burn those covers, and get it out of your home. And you'd be surprised at how fast your kids come around after they finish throwing their 2-year-old tantrum.
This summer I hear the drumming, for dead in Ohio. Gotta get down to it, soldiers are cutting us down.
David Crosby, when him and Crosby, Still Nash and Young produced the record Two-Way Street, they ordered the Principality of Medici to order demons of rebellion to go into the record, and everybody that heard it would be rebellious against law and order and government. And it was one of the reasons for the great upheaval in the 60s was that one album, and they take open credit for it. I can go on all night, but that's mainly it.
Must have a code that you can live by.
Now, one of the closest friends that I got during that time that I obtained was a man named David Crosby. Crosby, Still Nash and Young. I saw David the day before Christmas last year, talked with him. I got him away from this witch that he had with him. He told her to go shopping. We were in West Hollywood, and I was witnessing around to people I knew. We went off in this store, and we started talking. I said, David, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. I said, I already know the answers, but I've been gone for 5 years. I'd like to know if certain things are still the way they were when I left. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He says, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon.
Fingers, we quick minarets, speaking secret alphabets.
We have all seen those in the club flashing their signs. Oh, they do it all the time. You know, there's the upside down triangle, which, by the way, Trump cannot stop doing. And then we have the 666, the OK sign. And then there's the one-eyed symbolism. And don't forget the rock star famous devil horns. And of course, the hidden hand of Moses. No, Harry. Moses, you know, like from the Bible, he does the whole hidden hand thing when he's talking to the burning bush.
No.
Yeah, go read it. No, you're not going to go read it? Well, if you have time, people out there, you could go read it. You find out I'm telling you the truth. But today, I want to talk about the meaning of the fingers and the thumb, or what they call the hand of the philosopher. Now, the thumb represents the moon and the crown, thus the English expression of being under the thumb. You're under the crown. You're under control. Now, the index finger represents the star, or the 9 on the rubber band model of wonderment. It is the finger of power. Yeah, the finger of power, everyone. Now, the meaning of the middle finger, which a lot of people think is the finger of power, is debatable. Some say it represents the sun, and others say that it represents Saturn, and they both might be right. But it also represents what I call the maiden, or the tower, or the 3 in the 369 model. It also is the finger of self-worth. Now, the meaning of the ring finger is also debatable. Some will say it is the bell, and others will say it is the sun. And it is the finger of love. Thus, the wedding bands are placed on the ring finger. And the pinky is the key. Yeah, it's the finger of wisdom or enlightenment or knowledge, which means the famous devil horns is actually speaking about having knowledge of the star, or basically that they're insiders. Now, personally, after looking at all the different meanings, along with my understanding, I believe the middle finger is the tower, or the blue sun, or the 3, which is the wrath of the gods, or God if you must, which explains why we use the middle finger to tell everybody off. And if I have to pick a traditional planet, I would say it is Saturn, which would place the sun as the ring finger. However, I am not 100% certain, as there seems to be different versions of what each finger means, or rather the ring and the middle finger, and each one represents one of the 5 major heavenly bodies: the sun, the moon, and the 3, 6, and 9. But if you were to put a bong to my head and demand that I pick, I would say the thumb is the moon, the crown, the power. The index is 100% the star. The middle finger is the tower, Saturn, and the blue sun, the 3. And the ring finger is the sun. And the pinky is always knowledge, and is the key to everything. Yeah, everything.
Fingers we quick minarets, speaking secret alphabet.
We're going to Sunburst, the record store. What's that? Records for $2. I can be for something. Ah, look, he obviously didn't get anything in. Scorpions.
I said, okay, one last thing. I've been hearing that you must be an initiated witch now to get a record contract. He said, that's right. He says, many of us that weren't total witches have to be witches now in order to produce music. I said, thank you. The master is a tape about as big as the top of this podium that looks like an overgrown 8-track that the album is cut on, and it's placed in a machine that produces and presses the records and the 8-tracks and cassettes that you buy. After it's been recorded, it's taken in. This is why a master's cut months in advance before it's released. On the full moon, it's taken in to a temple room about the size of this auditorium that is in every one of the major music companies, behind locked doors up in the executive offices. And it's placed on an altar sitting in the north of the room, and a pentagram engraved in the floor. And 13 hand-chosen witches and wizards and a coven come in and conjure a principality or a power up, usually Regia or something like that, and order him to tell the demons under him to follow every record and every tape coming off of that master. As I tell many Christian parents, you can go home and count your kids' records, probably yours too, and count how many demons at least are there. If that's too hard for you to believe, I'm sorry. That's why they do it. Now listen to me. This is why rock music's addicting. Have you ever seen kids that got rid of their music? They go around like this. They can't wait to find a rock station somewhere, and they sneak off just like getting a cigarette or a fix, because it's addicting. That's why they can't give it up. The rest of the conversation was this. You can't cast a spell on a Christian, but you can get a Christian to cast a spell on themselves. If you give the permission for the spell to work, being a Christian won't block it. And rock music is not just a song. It is supernatural music that which is carefully designed by their spirit guides or familiar spirits in the form of spells. Now, although the devil's music's power is the music and God's music is the words, much of the songs are written in what we call witch language. To give you kind of an idea, many of you talk on a CB, unless you know what a smoky is, and a 10-4, and a front door and back door and rocking chair and these type of things, you don't know what you're talking about. Same with witches. When you're in the first and second level, you have to learn over 2,000 words that said by anybody else means something totally different than when you say them. Elton John has said he's never written a song or sung a song that wasn't in witch language. Now I want to show you something. See how many kids in here will be honest and adults. How many remember and have heard at least several times a song called Hotel California? Somebody tell me what it meant. Quickly, somebody tell me what it meant. Huh? That's pretty close. But from the words, what did it mean? Well, that's more of a guess. See, most people can't tell you. That's why when people do drugs and they listen to songs in which language, they get some of the meaning. But most of the time, they can't tell you. Stop and think how many songs are out there that you really like, and you don't have any idea what the person was talking about. Beyond the Yellow Brick Road? How about The Destroyer by Kiss? Can anybody tell me what it's about? Kiss said in it, kids, show your parents. They're talking about Helter Skelter. Beatles sung Helter Skelter in which language? Nobody knew what it meant. Manson did because he belonged to the process. Helter Skelter is a several thousand-year-old word. And they're believing that it's going to happen in a year from now, from this very date. Most of the music is either about Helter Skelter or a place called the Night Winds, which is what Hotel California is about, and different doctrines of witchcraft. You listen to them, your parents let you listen to them, and they have no idea. Kiss openly bragged how they were gaining control of people through their music because the people played their music. They told how they didn't form their own group. Their church, because they were ordained ministers of the Satanist church, placed them together. And that's how most of the music is done. I wish that I had the time more on rock music, but believe me, it is the work carefully planned out in the occult world. We spent $8 million to produce Jesus rock music and paid the man who started it, named Chuck Smith, just because Christians were destroying rock music and we were afraid that it would be banned from the Christian church. So we carefully put it in the form of Christian rock music. So if they would spend $8 million to keep rock music in your hands, then the hardcore rock must be even worse. I was the manager of Zodiac Productions, which Zodiac Productions' name's been changed since then. I'm not even sure what they call it now, but it's the largest music conglomerate in the world. It owns RCA Records, Columbia Records, Motown Records, owns almost all the concert booking agencies in the United States. And that's not even the name of the company that owns it. The name of the company that owns it is Brenner Enterprises, and Brenner Enterprises is owned by Chase Manhattan. Chase Manhattan's owned by Standard Oil, and Standard Oil's owned by the Lords of London. You can track it on back. You kind of get the idea after a while. But I was the managing president of Zodiac Productions. It's one of my jobs as being one of these 13 people. Thus, I got to know many of the people who produce music.
I had moved back to Bakersfield where we all grew up, and my parents were helping me with my daughter. I met some Christians. They invited me to church. I was like, Who cares? You know, I'll try it. And the pastor starts saying, Jesus is real. He'll come into your life if you invite him in, and all the negative stuff can't stay. And I was listening to him, and I was like, I'm going to try this. I went home with my drugs, and I just poured my heart out to God. I said, God, these drugs are going to kill me and leave my daughter without a dad. Please, if you're real, come into my life. Give me a new life. And with a long story short, I just had an encounter with God's love within the next few weeks, and man, I felt like Jesus came in and put his arms around me. I didn't see anything, but it was just like, it was a life-changing event, and I felt like I was at home for the first time. I'm a rich rock.
In all the Eastern religions and all the cults and all the world religions, they always gave some credit to Jesus Christ. The Muslims say that he was a prophet. The Christians say that he was an incarnation of the Godhead in his age. Yogananda and all these different Eastern teachers said that he had Christ consciousness. You know, they always use words like Christ consciousness, Christ this, Jesus that. The Buddhists would even say he was a Buddha. You know, he was another incarnation of God like Buddha was. And in all my searchings, I saw that all these people were pointing to Jesus. They're going, well, yeah, Jesus is one of the ways, but we're one of the ways. And they wouldn't all agree on anything except that Jesus was one of the ways. And then I looked into the Bible. I did this all through intellectual reasoning and laid it out on the table and figured it out that if they all gave him credit and he only gave himself credit, and they all agreed on one thing, that he was one of the ways, and he only agreed that he was the only way. So I figured I had no choice but to go with him. And then I started praying to Jesus.